is going on, Leos? Welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazzy, your reader for today. This is going to be your guys' bonus new moon message, and that's because you guys got the most views for your last for the last reading I did for you guys. So you guys had the highest amount of views, therefore, you know, you get the get a bonus reading. So this is going to be in addition to your weekly message. So this is going to be for the new moon that is today, on this beautiful new moon, 7/17, new moon in Cancer. All right, I hope y'all are doing well, staying hydrated, setting your intentions. Okay, I hope y'all have really done that part for yourself today, you know, in all the areas that you feel is necessary, that is most aligned to your highest timeline and where you're trying to go, where your soul is calling you, where your mission is taking you. Okay, so let's see, Spirit, for Leos. Let's see, Spirit, what is challenging Leos with this new moon? What is the potential challenge for Leos this week with this new moon energy? Spirit, what is for the new moon? Ooh, intensification. So it did come in reverse. However, I don't really read these in reverse, but I will take it both ways. And at the bottom we have responsibility, high priestess, high priest energy. So some of you, this is your high priestess or high priest skills and abilities, your intuitive gifts. I feel like for some of you are coming online. Okay, for some of you it has maybe been quite intense process, and I feel like for some of you, if I'm reading this in reverse, I feel like that the intensity of maybe what you guys have been experiencing may be dying down a little bit. Okay, where it's not as intense as it may have been for you guys. Okay, I feel like it's still important for you guys to know that, you know, the messages that you guys are receiving at this time, the downloads that maybe Spirit is giving you or connecting you with, are still very important. But I feel like it's just the intensity of maybe how you're feeling it, how your body is adjusting to maybe these upgrades, or like I said, for those of you that are activating new gifts, or the ones that you already have or that are already online are increasing. I feel like the intense energy of how you're feeling, how your body is adjusting to that, I feel like maybe kind of dying down this week. Okay, so now if I read this in the upright, this is talking about something that you guys have been asking for, something you guys have been working for. I feel like it may be increasing, right? The energy of the momentum of whatever it is you're asking for, you guys may be really not seeing it yet, okay? Because it did come in reverse. I feel like some of you, because we're talking about a challenge, I feel like for some of you it's like you're maybe not really clearly seeing maybe the fruits of your efforts, or seeing, you know, the shift in your circumstances yet, okay? But just know that everything is on divine time, meaning it's not about timing in a chronological construct. It's more so about alignment of your energy. So remember that, you know, you at the end of the day always have the ability to shift your perspective, to decide how things play out and how things go. You just have to align to that, to what you desire to see, and continue to persist no matter what. Continue to persist no matter what your 3D experience is showing you in reflection to your previous programming. Continue to persist in deciding that. I don't care what it, like, even if it makes you look delusional, where it's like, you know, if you want to see the color blue and you keep seeing green, it's like, I don't care, what do you mean, that's blue, and you keep saying it until it actually reflects blue to you, right? So that's just a little example. But let's see, Spirit, what do you want Leos to focus on with this new moon? What is the point of focus for Leos with this new moon, please? I wasn't even trying to wear a hoodie today, but because the wind is blowing so much right here, I wanted to make sure that you guys could hear me okay. So otherwise I really wasn't even trying to be in a hoodie. I'm just enjoying the breeze out here at the park. It's a really beautiful day. I hope y'all are really doing your best to enjoy it. Enjoy yourself, okay? Enjoy the present moment, because that's really all we have. That's really all that matters. So let's see, Spirit, what is the point of focus for Leos with this new moon? What do you want Leos to focus on for this new moon in Cancer, Spirit? Please speak into their minds, their souls, their hearts, their spirits. Allow them to only take the messages that are truly in alignment with their highest and greatest good. That they really need to hear right now, Spirit. What is the point of focus for Leos? What would you like Leos to focus on with this new moon energy, please? For Leos, what's the point? Oh. All right. If you work through your feelings, last quarter moon in Aries. So I feel like there's maybe some things that are coming up at this time that it's going to be important. Yeah, wow. And at the bottom here, honor your feelings. First quarter moon in Pisces. Okay, so two repeating messages here. So like I said, I feel like, you know, it's going to be important for you guys to really follow your intuition and trust the guidance that you're receiving. Trust what's coming up for you, even if it makes you a bit uncomfortable. Always know and remember that your intuition is always here to help you. It's never going to sugarcoat or cupcake things for you. So even if it's uncomfortable, your intuition is never going to lie to you. So, you know, especially the way, like I always say, if we can trust Apple Maps and Siri and Google Maps and all those other type of, you know, guidance, you know, devices or applications, we should damn sure be able to trust our own intuitive, you know, gifted by the Most High. Okay, so let's see what is coming towards Leo with this new moon. On the split here, we have passion, commitment, and grieving. So I feel like something that maybe has come to an end recently, or something I feel like for some of you have recently ended. It's like it's basically making room for you to commit to something else. This could definitely be talking about a relationship, a connection. Some of you maybe recently gone through a breakup, and that could be where Spirit is saying to work through your feelings. So like I said, for some of you where you may be finding it challenging at this time to really trust your intuition and trust that, maybe trust the process, especially like I said, for some of you maybe recently gone through a breakup or some sort of loss, especially when it comes to maybe a person who maybe has transitioned, or just a real, you know, big breaking connection where I feel like for some of you it's really been painful. I feel like this is an opportunity though for you guys to really work through those feelings, because, you know, anything that ends only brings an opportunity for something new, for a new door of opportunity to open. But you have to be open and willing to receive that when you're ready, and you become ready when you work through the feelings of the door that recently closed. So like I said, for some of you, you may be going through this, maybe challenging for some of you with this new moon to maybe think about moving on or moving into a new connection, or maybe it could even be a new job for some of you. But I feel like that's where for some of you it's maybe the intensity of something that has maybe recently ended with this new moon that's making room for a new beginning, a new start. Maybe some of you are shifting into a new timeline that you've been asking for, and that requires, sometimes we aren't always aware of the sacrifices that are required for us to make to step into a new reality or into a new life or new beginnings, things like that. It requires us to sometimes sacrifice connections, jobs, environments, you know, old thoughts, beliefs, whatever that is, programming, to where I feel like some of you, you know, you may be grieving at this time, but for some of you could definitely be an opportunity here to reconcile with someone, even if it's just on a friendship level, even if it's just as being friends. For some of you, you may be realizing with this new moon that you're just better off being friends with someone versus being in a romantic connection with them, or even if it's just a business partnership, right? Some of you may be kind of realizing that you work better together with, you know, just as friends versus on a business level. So that means you don't necessarily always have to kick people completely out of your life, but maybe just switch the dynamic of the connection, switch the access that they have to you. Okay. But for some of you, it's this is giving you an opportunity to really commit to yourself, recommit to yourself. For some of you, it's to commit to your passions, to commit to something that you're really passionate about. Some of you have maybe put things that you've been passionate about, or parts of yourself that really mean something to you, on the back burner for a connection. And for some of you, this was maybe Spirit's way of clearing out a connection, or giving you, like I said, a major break in a connection, because for some of you it's kind of like it threw you off. It maybe kind of made you lose your focus, so to speak. So I feel like for some of you, as you allow yourself to grieve this process and really work through your feelings by honoring your feelings, by when they come up, right? We don't just immediately push them away and act like, you know, they don't exist, and just, you know, spiritually bypass them with, you know, just saying, oh, it's okay, and, you know, the better things are to come, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, if you're feeling really fucking hurt, acknowledge that I'm really feeling fucking hurt right now. While yes, it might be at the end of the day, it is for something positive, but in this moment, I'm feeling like complete absolute shit right now. And so for me, what helped me through, you know, dealing with my emotions by, you know, I used to be scared that if I, you know, allow myself to honor how I felt, that it would essentially recreate that to happen again. And what I had to learn through that process is, while, you know, it's kind of like when you're sitting with a friend, right, and they're crying, they're going through something, you're just holding that space for them, meaning that if they need to lay their head on your shoulder and they're just crying and just saying like, I can't believe this happened, you know, what do I do, you know, type of thing. You're just sitting there and you're just like, I know, I understand. You're holding that space for them. So this is where Spirit is asking you this week, for some of you, to do this for yourself, where Spirit is asking you to really focus on working through your own feelings. For some of you, you know, you guys are so good and so great at being there for other people, but not really for yourself. And this is where Spirit is asking you to maybe turn the table this week during this new moon and really reshift that energy back onto yourself, where some of you, if you haven't been getting the type of love or support that you need from other people, that's why, because Spirit is asking you to, you need to start, you know, redirect that energy that you put so much love, 10-10 on this, on the timer, where some of you are putting so much love and support and energy into other people and what they're going through. But when you're going through something, it's like, who's there? It's like the healers heal, but who heals us healers, right? So I feel like some of you are being asked to, you know, really take more time to honor how you feel about things, right? As things come up, allow them to come up and sit with that, you know, and that's the best way, the most effective way that I've even learned, not only heard, but I've learned through my own personal experience, which I'm only going to speak from my personal experience of what I can say is true because I've done it, is by when it comes up, is to not just bypass it, even if that means in the moment I have to cry. I understand, like if you're at the store or something like that, it may not be the best place to, you know, just have a whole fucking meltdown, but it is to say, as soon as you get home or as soon as you get in the car, give yourself a few minutes to just, you know, let that shit come out, pour out however it needs to, even if that means you screaming or, you know, just kind of like hitting the steering wheel, you know, not too crazy, obviously. I'm not telling you to hurt yourself, but I am saying, you know, whatever comes up for you to express that, to get it out of your system, to get it out of your energy without hurting yourself or others, give yourself that space and that grace to do that. Okay. Like I said, I feel like some of you are feeling challenged maybe by the energy is maybe feeling so intense, and that could be why this is in reverse, where for some of you, and, you know, being in the challenge is where you guys are waiting for this energy to maybe pass, or it's like, why do I feel so intense, such intense emotions? And this is why Spirit is saying this is the point of focus for this new moon, is Spirit is trying to, I feel like, usher in new starts, new beginnings, new opportunities for you, but there are some things that still need to be worked through first to make room for that. This is just about making room. It's just part of the process, meaning, so some of you have been like waiting, like I said, for things to come in, waiting for that energy and that momentum to build towards what you're asking for, and it maybe hasn't appeared just yet, is because it's still, Spirit is saying a delay is not a denial, meaning that there's just some things that are coming up at this time for you to take a look at, to allow you to clear out the energy to make room for the new. And Aries is that very passionate fire sign, your fellow fire sign. So for some of you, where on the split we're just talking about passion, for some of you this is, you know, clearing out things to make room to get reignited, to reignite your passion. For some of you, it's like you've been maybe kind of put your things that you're passionate about, or maybe your work or your art or whatever that is for you, kind of put it off to the side because you guys have been dealing with maybe a lot of emotions that are coming up that maybe have been pushed down for far too long, and it's like you can't push it down anymore. Spirit is not allowing us to continue to, I feel like, do that to ourselves. That is essentially how dis-ease is created, through years and years of, you know, suppressing feelings, pushing things down and acting like it's not there when it really is. And the sooner that you allow yourself to look at it, to, you know, acknowledge that it's even exists, is as soon as it will pass. And a lot of times you won't even have to revisit it again. I've learned that through experience, and that's why I, you know, have downplayed it, because it's scary, right? We don't want to feel, it's like we're so scared, like, to feel the intensity of a certain experience. We don't want to replay that again, and I completely understand. However, that's sometimes what's necessary, is because when it happens in the moment, we bypass it, it will have to come up again. So when you deal with it in that moment, you won't have to backtrack to it later, right? So it's like the same thing like when we're in school. Once you pass that grade, you know, once you get to where you finally make it to 12th grade, right, high school, and you graduate, you won't have to backtrack and go through 10th, 11th to get back to the 12th. But it's when you backtrack from when you're at, like, say 11th grade and you fail, you flunk, right, and you have to repeat the 11th grade, yeah, you have to go back before you can get to the 12th, because we didn't keep going the first time. So, you know, if you treat it kind of like the same way, allowing yourself to see it from that perspective, then hopefully that will encourage you to allow, you know, when these feelings arise, allow yourself to really honor how you're feeling in that moment. That really, you know, not only helps you heal previous traumas and experiences and things like that, but it helps when new ones arise, you know how to deal with them in an easier, more efficient and effective way, to where you don't have to spend so much time and energy and effort, you know, replaying and, you know, harboring and sitting in these emotions. And then essentially, you know, if we're not careful, you can recreate them by reabsorbing them. So I'm not asking you to reabsorb it, but you observe it the same way you would when you're watching a movie. You don't allow yourself to really, some people do, but, you know, those who do, you know, who don't, they allow themselves to just watch the movie without actually embodying as if they were that person. That's how you absorb essentially what you're watching. So we want to observe, not absorb, and that'll help you, get through and really heal at a soul level these feelings or things that may be coming up for you guys right now. Okay, but it is your responsibility to heal yourself. So I feel like, Spirit is also, this is a reminder for some of you that things that may be coming up for you right now are from your past. This could be definitely ancestral patterns or ancestral cycles that some of you, were elected to heal in this lifetime. And I feel like it's a big responsibility, but some of you, this is also about, reminding you, or for those of you that, maybe were unaware, letting you know, bringing awareness to that, certain things happen to us. And we, especially like say when we were kids, you couldn't help, it wasn't our fault that our parents, projected pain or their traumas onto us. But at the end of the day, when you are aware of what happened, it is your responsibility to heal yourself. It is your responsibility to honor your own feelings as they arise. And underneath that, breathe through the tension, okay, with Scorpio. So full moon in Scorpio. So this is, I feel like for some of you Leos, it's a very intense time, a very intense new moon energy at this time. But just know that it's all happening to help you get to the next level, to help you move forward. Okay, so do your best to work through this stuff and not try to just bypass it or, slide it on the rug, because it's always going to be there waiting for you. Whenever you, when you least expect it, it's going to come up and you'll be like, why the fuck is this coming up again? Like, because we haven't properly looked at it, so let's keep going, because I can go on this stuff for days. So let's see, Spirit, what's coming towards Leo? What can they look forward to with this new moon? Beautiful. So we have spirit guide, we have protection and healing. So this is a very, I feel like, healing period for you Leos. Okay, I feel like some of you maybe haven't been trying to do it, but it's like, this is where Spirit is saying it's time for you to step into your courage. For some of you, this is happening on purpose to put you back in your power, to help you restore the confidence that some of you have lost through help. For some of you, it's to help you drop the mask that maybe you've put up essentially because of bullying. For some of you, experienced a lot of bullying growing up, and that for some of you is things that are coming up to be healed at this time, to really help you restore your confidence, to really help you step back into your power. This is your power here in this oracle deck. Okay, so this is about you really, doing this work to essentially step into your confidence and be brave and really allow yourself to, go through this healing so you can really be confident like you're supposed to be, like the lion that you are. Okay, so I definitely feel like your spirit guides are definitely with you at this time. They're definitely here protecting you and helping you through this process. And so I feel like for some of you, if this is what's challenging you, the intensity where it's like not feeling like it's getting any lighter, this is where Spirit is asking you to really call upon your spirit guides, to really call upon your team and ask them to safeguard and keep your energy safe while you go through this process, but also guide you on the best thing, the best practice, the best way to navigate this energy if that's what you need. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's clarify this energy with the tarot. Shit, that was a reading in itself. That was a reading in itself. You know what? I'm gonna do a part 2 on this. 18 on the timer. Yeah, we're gonna do a part 2 on this because I don't want this reading to be super duper long in itself. For some of you, that was all the message that you needed. So for those of you where that was enough, I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna do a part 2 to this and clarify this energy with the tarot. All right, so if this is where we part ways, I really hope you got what you needed from this reading. If you did enjoy it for what it provided for you today, I really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to this channel if you have not. And yeah, you guys got this. You're strong, you're brave. This is just putting you back in your power, so keep going. Okay, I love y'all so much. Until next time, howdy.